shocked and dismayed.
Yes, I will, actually I will too.
What are we on?
Okay, I got to find you on here. Where
I'm
are
gonna
you?
turn mine off.
No registrar. Oh, no.
Yeah, I got to find you.
Right behind
Now I'm
the
curious,
business.
I'm leaving it
Oh,
on.
I got the paper, I'm looking online.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. What color were you in today? Blue? I think it's blue, isn't it?
No, it's green.
Oh, it's green.
Right after DOC, should be beginning of the path, close to the beginning.
How come I can't get here? I have trouble with these. Well, I'm gonna have to move them myself. Friday. There it is. Okay.
Y'all have the sheet in here, do you have it, Charlie?
Which sheet are you talking
The voter registrar?
about? I do have a registrar expenditure sheet.
You said blue tab.
No, green tab.
No, not blue.
Green tab. On the computer, it's right after. And the green tab, under the green tab, it's in the order.
Before fire.
Well, it'll be right after Glenda's too, which I
Yeah,
can't.
right, right.
No, I have them in the wrong order in there, sorry, my bad. I think Glen said is next. There should be.
Did you escape all the big changes that everybody was worried about? That was voting machines itself though, wasn't it?
That's coming,
But not this year.
not this year.
What's that?
The judge ruled in our favor, we do not have to supply, paper ballots to all voters. However, we do have a significant uptick in people requesting paper ballots.
So what do you do?
We are very busy this
What do you do?
We supply paper ballots. If they come to vote in person, they do not get a paper ballot.
Yeah,
The only way they can get a paper ballot is to request it, and we mail it.
Gotcha.
But there will be no paper ballots in person voting, early voting or election
But
day.
if anybody wants one, they can get
They
one.
get it,
I'm with you.
yeah. And we're very busy.
Yeah.
So you mail out a paper ballot, how do you know who fills it out?
We have to verify signatures, so you have to be experts.
Get your handwriting expert in.
I do the best I can. I used to teach school, so I'm a little bit, I have a little bit of experience in that, but, trying to decipher handwriting, but.
You sent home graded work to be signed by parents
And
and
the
you
kids
detected
sign it.
forgeries?
Yeah. Well, but I never did anything like that. Well, Sandy said no, there was.
We got the background check on you. We know.
But, yes, we have had a significant increase in that, so. We have out, let's see, last time I checked, was about 250 ballots out already. So, yeah.
Can they be mailed back or they have to deliver them in person? or-
They have the option, they can mail them back or bring them back in person.
That seems like it's
Most of
more
them are
subject
mailed
to
back.
fraud than
So,
Well,
machines.
that's the discussion for another day, yes.
so,
I mean, don't you?
Yes.
so you've got extra training and education in here for what?
There are 2 conferences next year.
2.
Yes. They are, the 2020 conference will be at the end of 2019. So in 2020, there won't be a conference because it's a big election year. So they're doing it.
So you double up next year.
Yes, sir. So I did have to double up that. You probably see a significant increase in personnel, salary and wages. That's because there has been a significant increase in our workload. DDS made, or the state made changes in DDS implemented them. That when you go to Department of Driver Services, when you go now to the Department of Driver Services, you are automatically registered to vote unless you opt out. Most people don't opt out. So that means that we're getting a lot more voter registrations. Many of those are duplicate registrations, people that are already registered to vote, but we have to process them anyway. Every electronic registration, be it online voter registration.
How come they don't check that when they let them register?
It's not their responsibility. I guess they feel like that, you know, they don't check to see whether they're already registered to vote.
So I'd rather just put the word downstream.
So,
Check the can.
I ran some figures comparing 2016 to 2017 to 2018. And, you know, factoring out the workload from elections, because that's a whole separate ballgame. From 2016 to 2017, this was before they implemented the system at the beginning of this year, we only had a 19% increase in our ordinary daily workload from 2016 to 2017. But this year...
Only 19%.
Only 19%. This year, they implemented that toward the beginning of the year. I don't remember the exact date. And we have seen a 47% increase in our workload.
On top of the 19.
On top of the 19 that would be usual, excuse me. So that's a 76% increase in 2 years. You know, 76% increase.
Well, we went
I
up
have
pretty
worked
good
a
on that.
lot of hours this year. Okay, I've been working part-time, as you know, ever since I took this job. I work 3 days a week, Tammy works 2 days a week. And for a long time, that worked fine. Us doing that and just one person in the office every day, we can get the work done. We're not able to do that anymore. And with this being an election year, it's been particularly hard, and I'm trying my best not to go over my budget for this year, but I mean, we're having to have 2 people in the office almost all the time. We've got someone who is working with us now who wants to work full-time and to be there every day. And the rest of us who have been working would continue to do our staggered schedule. They'll provide continuity, you know, and you may have heard rumors, because I've been not secretive about it. I do want to transition out, either by the end of my term or, you know, before. So we're trying to get people trained so that that can happen. We want it to kind of be a smooth transition. We need 2 people now. I mean, there's just no 2 ways about it. I am behind in some of my maintenance activities that I need to perform. I got a report. I've got 75 people on my felon list that I need to look to see. You know, the state sends them out in comparison to our voter registration rolls and see if they're matches or mismatches. And that takes extra time. I'm working on that. As Sherry's doing regular daily work today, we're both processing ballots and ballot applications. You know, I'm a little bit behind in getting my deceased individuals off. So, you know, we're working as hard as we can, but we're just not keeping up as well as we should be able to keep up. So I think it would be good. Sherry, right now, is a part-time employee for us and also works at the golf course. And she wants to give up her work at the golf course and come completely over to us.
So do you need to adjust this figure for that purpose?
Sandy and I already talked about it, and we've already it's already in the figures you should have.
In the 66,000?
And I think that'll more than cover it.
65.
that she's
requested. Because are there elections next year?
No, none
There
scheduled.
will, I'm joking, but I predicted there
Thank
would be
goodness the SPLOST got
I'll
into
be
this
wrong.
year's.
I hope I'm wrong. I am praying I'm wrong.
I'm hoping, I did not put anything in for an election
What would
next
the
year,
purpose
so.
of
if SPOS doesn't pass this year.
Oh, okay. Okay,
I'm
well,
praying, I'm praying.
okay, I did not budget for that, so that would, change things.
That was one of the big clear whether you did or not.
No, I was not anticipating
We
any.
did increase the group insurance line.
Yes, because
If she
Sherry
would go
goes
full-time.
full-time, then yes, she would be
Well, that would
eligible for
eligible for
county
benefits.
benefits, paid vacation, that kind of thing. The rest of us, I would still not need that. And other people working part-time, Tammy is, she's split, so we split her benefits between, probate and us.
Yeah.
So that would continue the way that it is, but,
If you have
in order to bring somebody in full-time and that she makes that commitment, we also want to create a new job classification where she would be paid a little bit more than the other people we've had coming in as supply. That would do the same thing, but with her making that commitment, we feel like we should pay her a little more than somebody that just works part-time every once in a while.
you
But
probably
that's
don't need,
in here, right, that's calculated in.
Yes, sir, that's in the figures, right.
but you're probably gonna need some equipment for her laptop or desktop.
We
or
just
something
purchased a new laptop.
Additional.
We've got 2 laptops in there, we've got 2 desktops, so I think we're good on
Okay.
computers, unless one of them dies, so I don't have
No, I
anything
understand.
in the budget for anything like that. It could happen. I didn't budget for it this year, it happened, but, we're managing to fit it in there. We found some money, Sandy found it for us,
Okay.
that we could manipulate. And of course, with this increased workload, with all these new registrations, every time we do a transaction, which is what we call them, transactions,
Sure.
it generates a new precinct card. Okay, regardless of whether anything changed in the record or not, okay? It generates a new precinct card. A new precinct card means more postage.
Mhm.
So not only has that 47% workload increase, that's also increased our postage, and our paper and all this.
Yeah,
other
more
stuff.
costs, yeah.
And going back to the felons, I was on that for just a second. When they register at DDS automatically, that means that felons are being registered automatically.
Every one of them, that gets a gun.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So
not
that
gonna
has
get a match
increased
yet.
my workload
Wonderful.
because
They're not even checking
the
that.
state says we have to put them on, and then we have to wait till we get this report to find out whether they're still felons or not, to take them back off. Now, yes, the law says that if you register to vote when you are serving a felony sentence, it is a felony.
Yes,
But
and there's the state
our
doing it
district
automatically.
attorney
There's
has been
almost
reluctant, our district attorneys are reluctant to prosecute in that area.
Well, yeah.
Our
they didn't-
board-
They didn't.
Our
Yeah.
board
Yeah.
is reluctant
Yeah.
to even
Yeah.
turn it over to the district attorney.
It wouldn't be appropriate if they did.
So, because this is
Prosecute the
automatic.
state.
Wow.
But anyway, so we put those people on, which is work, and then we almost, within a month, had to turn around and take them off. And you have to notify them. So you're kind of doing double work there, so.
I hope you don't mail
That's
any,
why I got a list of 75 possible matches.
I hope you don't mail anything to the deceased people.
I do, actually. That is required by law as well. Anytime you take somebody off the voter registration rolls, you do have to notify them because they do have the opportunity to dispute that, take it to the Superior Court judge. So yes, if I take somebody off that's deceased, their obituary is given in the paper, or state sends us a possible match, then yes, I do have to send them a
Are
letter.
we gonna have to hire a medium to facilitate?
Yeah, I wonder how we get that through to them.
Basically, we address the letters to the families of this person, but they do have, and we have made mistakes, I admit, sometimes people have the same names. We just have to be
Sure.
very careful with the
Sure.
registration numbers and the birthdays
Sure.
and make sure that we get the right individual, but, it's been rare, that we've made a mistake, but it does happen. So that's to prevent us from potentially taking someone off we should not have. So,
So, let me ask you this. What's the age to vote?
okay, they can register at 17 and a half, but vote at 18.
So when I get my driver's license,
If you get your
When can I get
learner's
my
permit
license?
and your
16.
16, do they register you to vote?
no,
How do they know?
Because
Why do they
there's-
check?
because of the age.
They will check the age, but they won't check anything else.
They're not checked on. And I have mentioned this in our last regional meeting that I went to, that canceled the one for this month, because we were all so busy.
What,
In the last regional meeting, the state director of elections was there, and that was brought up, and I mentioned this about, you know, how much extra work that we're having to do. And I suggested increased signage, you know, maybe more warnings on the, you know, the digital registration, you know, to make sure you're not a felon before you sign this, or make sure you do meet the registration. Because people, I've been there, you've been to DD, if you've been to DDS.
oh man,
You don't pay attention to that page that you're on is the one that's registering you to vote. You're just going through and you just say, okay, this is related to my driver's license. Most people don't know they're registering to vote
now how do you?
because they don't read every word.
And why should that be automatic anyway?
That's a law.
It's in the law, and the driver's license people said that they had to make the change to comply with the law.
Now, how do you know
They
that?
So-
make a felon
Yeah, and
registration law
DDS
in
has
order
a
to-
state board that
How-
they decided to do.
How do you know they belong to our county?
Okay, they by address,
What address?
their
driver's license.
physical address.
See, my driver's license says P.O. Box
But your
1176.
physical address is still in that record too.
Maybe,
It is.
they don't go by that. I
Right.
just wanna make
They-
sure,
they-
I just wanna make sure,
They put what you want on your driver's license, but
I just wanna make sure we're not getting
Yeah.
somebody out of another county or we're not losing.
no, no.
You think-
Occasionally we get where DDS has misdirected those electronically. And, you know, we have a way of electronically shifting them over like Pickens or.
If they use my zip code, if
Especially, you know, those on the line, a lot of times it'll, yeah.
they go by
So-
zip code. it
But we can
doesn't work.
electronically shift those over, that's not a problem.
So a friend of ours is, lives
That's
in Gilmer County with a talking rock address, and their auto taxes go to Pickens County.
Well, I'm
And I
in,
had to get Becky to appeal.
well, I have that problem, I'm in Gilmer County, but my address is Murray County,
Yeah,
and I may be registered in both.
that would not be possible. The system does not allow for it to be, unless we created
DDS would.
unless we created a brand new registration, and you have duplicate registration, that's a whole ball of wax too. We do occasionally create duplicates, and I have to merge them, so,
But if I were,
That's
if
another
I were to
job.
register through DDS, I think I would end up with a duplicate.
I thought you had to die to get a duplicate.
okay. The matching comes first on your driver's license number. So if your driver's license number is in the system, it's not gonna be duplicated again. Okay, if it's already in the system, we're not gonna create a duplicate.
For renewal.
Yeah, then birth dates and names and that kind of thing. So if, you know, the driver's license number is a unique number, so generally that prevents us from creating duplicate registrations.
Gotcha,
If the driver's license number is already in the system.
gotcha.
If the driver's license number is not already in the system, or the applicant didn't supply a driver's license number, and so that we can't do the matchup, sometimes duplicates are created. But we catch those and they get merged.
Well, you gotta, it's a problem keeping your data straight, I don't know how you do it, but I hear you. We've got everything in the budget you need, except,
Except if there was to be an election.
yeah, understand, and
Or-
that has to be an amendment.
Yeah.
We
Or
plan
major
that there
computer
won't be,
failure.
if there is, it'll just be the budget.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I
understand.
think we've covered it all.
Okay.
You know, I didn't increase many line items much over what I asked for last year, except for the personnel. So, and, you know, if it's okay with you, that's our plan, that's what we hope to do, is to have 2 people in the office all the time. And it also will mean that the office will be covered all the time. You know, we have to be open when you're open.
Right.
When the courthouse is open, we're open.
You only
With
got one person,
only one
that's tough.
person
That's tough.
scheduled every day, and us having medical issues or what have you, there has been problems this year. And for example, one day I had a medical procedure that my husband was scheduled for. Becky was on vacation and asked could she extend the vacation a day. That was not a problem, but then Tammy's mother-in-law died, and that took her away. So guess what happened? I had to, oh yeah, Dean was away too, and he's our normal field, was also our normal field person. He was in Europe. Anyway, I had to cancel my husband's medical procedure so that somebody would be there, you know, that was trained to be there. I mean, we can grab anybody off the street pretty much and deputize them and put them in the front window, but they're not trained to do anything much more than, you know, here, fill out this registration. They can't do anything else. So, you know, to have 2 trained people there all the time is, and I think the county's best interest. It's certainly in our best interest so that we have a little bit more flexibility in emergency procedures. We have 20,000 plus voters now. When I first took over this job, we had about 14,000. So
When was that?
that was in 2006, 9 years, so about 2009. So that's a pretty significant increase. And it happened pretty quickly. It happened mostly this year because of DDS's changes. Because everybody's getting registered voters through DDS. And a lot of people don't realize they're getting registered through DDS. And so they
They're committed
are
to
sitting,
trying to
and now that it's an election year, everybody wants to make sure they're registered to vote. So we're getting lots of duplicate registrations through online voter registration and through the mail. So, and every single thing has to be processed. Everything. We can't look at it and say, oh, this is a duplicate and just stick it in the door. Everything has to be processed. So, and there's a lot of interest in this election.
That there is.
I thought 2016 was a high interest election. This one's shaping up to be pretty much so. For a midterm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
Thank you, ma'am.
We'll go back to work.
Off the record question, or off the subject question for you. Is Tammy in your area today or probate?
She's in probate today, okay? Usually she's in probate Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, I'm here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I gotta see if I can get a 10-minute window where I can run a report up to her.
Yeah, yeah.
What is, do you know